guys, it's Lizzie. So people are always telling me that I'm so happy. So I reflected on my life and figured out why I'm so happy. And so these are 13 ways to be really, really happy. Number 1, be thankful. If you live in a way where you're just grateful for everything, then you'll be so happy. Examples of this are when I'm walking around Pepperdine campus, I notice the flowers everywhere and I notice how beautiful they are. And I notice the tint of the sky and the shade of the ocean that day. And I was making dinner with my mom in the kitchen yesterday and I was just telling her like, wow, like this one cabinet, like the way it's designed, it's just like so cool. And I know that God gave me a writer's mind, and so this is why I naturally am attuned to just like noticing everything. But I challenge you guys to open up your eyes, start noticing tiny little bits of beauty everywhere, and you'll just feel so grateful for everything. But this doesn't just apply to like little things in your house or in nature. Also, just be thankful for every single friend you have, for your church, for ways that God is growing you right now, for different Bible verses. Sometimes I'll just be reading the epistles and I'll just be like, wow, like I'm so thankful that Paul wrote this. I'm so thankful that he died and was a martyr and was just so humble and passionate about Christ, because it encourages me to be passionate about Christ too. Live in a way where every single thing you don't take for granted. Number 2, love other people by telling them why you appreciate them. You can do this by writing affirmation or encouragement notes to your friends and family members. I'm always just going around complimenting my friends and strangers, and my love language is words of affirmation. Obviously, a lot of people in my small group or who speak at like Sunday night chapel or at church, they just say things that are really inspiring, and I love just like going up and like telling them why it like impacted me in a certain way and letting people know how they've impacted you or why you think they're incredible. It makes them happy, and this goes back to the whole thankful thing, because like you are thinking about why you were so thankful for specific aspects of that person, and that makes you happy because then you're no longer taking that person for granted. Number 3, don't ever block emotions and let yourself cry a lot if you really, really need to cry. This seems so strange, I know, but whenever people tell me I'm so happy, it's like I realize like, wow, you know, I cry like probably more than anyone else you know, and it's just kind of like an interesting like dichotomy. Crying and happiness completely relate to each other though, because when I am feeling hurt or disappointed or broken, I cry and I feel that emotion and all that it is, and I just think about it a lot, and that really, really hurts. But then once I feel and process that, I move on and I'm able to be happy again. If something is going on in your life that's really hurting you and you're just ignoring it and kind of trying to avoid it, you're just going to have this emotional fog over every single emotion, and you're not going to feel really, really happy. You're just going to be in this kind of like apathetic emotional state. And so when something is going wrong, just cry and feel it and like deal with it and then move on. Number 4, don't worry about anything. I know this is so hard because our society teaches us to worry about finances and relationships and what people are thinking about us and how our body looks, and we're just taught to just worry about everything. So many times I'll find myself sitting in a Bible class or a small group and people are like, just trust God with your future, don't worry about finding a job. Or girls are telling me that like they're worrying about finding a future husband, and I just have this moment where I'm like, no, I can't relate to that. I do not worry about those things ever. What I do worry about that I really have been working on is when someone I really care about is hurting, I cry about it and I think about it a lot, and what I've learned I need to do is just pray about it and surrender that to God and just trust God to take care of that person. And that's what you need to do about everything in your life that you're worrying about. Worrying about something is just a waste of time. It doesn't fix the problem, it doesn't do anything, and it just steals away all your peace and joy. Number 5, I am an optimist. I see the best in people and I expect things to be utopian and amazing, and I have really high expectations. 2 examples of this. So my first Lincoln Douglas debate tournament was awful. I didn't know what I was doing, but I kept working really hard and I knew that I could be amazing at debate if I kept trying. And so then by junior year I was winning first place at tournaments. Then I ended up at nationals, and that's because I'm an optimist. I knew that I could be amazing at debate, and so I just kept trying, and eventually I did become really good at debate. Same with YouTube. I was awful at talking to a camera, so awkward. I didn't know how to edit my videos. I didn't have any actual equipment. The lighting was awful. The video topics were stupid. I didn't know how to like be comfortable and like confident talking in front of a camera, but I just knew that if I kept trying, I could be a good YouTuber. And this also relates to me falling for a guy. Instead of just being like, oh, this guy for sure is not gonna like me back. I'm just gonna block my emotions towards him and not even try. What I do is I'm oblivious and I completely trust guys. And then when I get played or manipulated, I get hurt a lot because I had a really high expectation for that person, but then I just feel that emotion and all that it is and I move on. And someday I am going to find a guy who meets my like really high expectations and who thinks I'm amazing and understands me, and we're gonna be married for life, and it's gonna be so worth it that I just like completely trusted him and like thought it was gonna turn out amazing. And so I think that it's a way happier way to live to just expect things to be amazing than to expect things to be awful. But do not get your happiness from a guy. That's not at all what I'm saying. Which goes along with number 6, I am happy by myself. I am an extrovert. My Myers-Briggs is ESTJ, but I do not need people around me to feel happy. Often I'm happiest when I'm just reading my Bible and praying, or staring at the flowers or at the sky, or writing poems or short stories, or just listening to music and dancing by myself in my room. So I'm not reliant on someone else for my happiness, which is really important because especially once you get to college, you're just going to be by yourself and on your own and not with people a lot of the time, and you need to just feel happy and content not having people around you constantly. Number 7, care about your friends a bunch because then you can feel their emotions. You'll always probably have at least one close friend who's really happy when you're really sad. And so then you can listen to them talk about why they're so happy, and then you'll feel happy even though you actually have stuff to feel sad about. So a lot of this year for me was emotional chaos mess regarding my emotions towards guys. So I cried a lot because of miscommunication, manipulation, invalidation. Meanwhile, this whole time, my roommate and her boyfriend had this really healthy, adorable, Christ-centered, amazing relationship. And so hearing my best friend talk to me about how amazing her guy stuff was going made me feel so much better, because it was like, yeah, I have something to be sad about, but she's really happy, so I'll be happy. Number 8, I have a lot of things that I am so crazy passionate about. I've always been very involved at my schools, and I have like all these art forms I've been like super intense about throughout my life. Right now, I'd say the things that I am really passionate about and spend so much of my time doing are growing in my relationship with God, making YouTube videos, philosophy, writing, playing guitar. And throughout my life, other things I've been really passionate about are film and editing at school, debate, running, ballet, volleyball, choir, orchestra, I played viola. And also, I'm just really passionate about school. Like, I love school. I really like gaining knowledge and learning and studying. I just love that. And so if you're like really passionate about things and you devote so much time to like doing those things will make you so happy, and you'll be like constantly like accomplishing things and like working hard towards things, and it's just like a great way to spend your life. A lot of people complain about being bored, and I don't understand that because I'm never bored. I always have something I could be doing, and so instead of being bored, you can be happy because you'll be engaging in some art form or extracurricular or thing you're talented at. Number 9, helping other people with their problems and just showing love to them. I'm kind of like a virtual counselor to hundreds of people that I message back through this YouTube channel, and also I help my friends with their problems too. And what I've noticed is that when I'm really sad and hurting from something, the best thing I can do to feel happy is to focus on someone else's problem and to help them and to like listen to them cry and like what they're hurting from. And I don't know why, but I think that like God created it in us to like feel happiness from like being selfless and just like taking the focus off of yourself. When you're focusing so much on your own problem, it doesn't make it better, you're just worrying about it. And so by focusing on other people and helping them, it just makes you feel a lot better. Number 10, don't complain a bunch and focus on superficial things and just be really negative about them. You will drive yourself crazy picking apart aspects of your body you don't like, or parts of your life you want to change, or people you find annoying. It spreads a negative vibe to everyone around you, and it just is highlighting to yourself why you cannot be content. This is the opposite of living in a way that's thankful, because when you're thankful for everything, you notice everything amazing in your life. But when you complain all the time you're focusing on everything awful in your life. Unless it is a righteous anger injustice thing, just let it go. Being content is a huge part of happiness, and you're never gonna be content if you're all the time complaining, either inwardly or verbally. Number 11, when I don't like something, I change it. Instead of being upset or stressed out, which are forms of unhappiness, I just fix the problem. So examples like, oh, my camera broke and the company doesn't want to replace it. I call the company and ask to speak to the manager and keep talking to CEO type people until they promise to mail me a new camera for free. Or I'm in the grocery store and I can't find where the blueberries are. So I immediately ask a store worker where the blueberries are and they lead me to the blueberries. Or a more extreme example, when I got back from Thailand last year, I was crazy reverse culture shock and crying all the time and feeling broken. And so I talked to our campus minister and then signed up for counseling. And so you need to think of everything in your life that you have a problem with or that you're complaining about or that's making you sad, and it's either a fixable or an unfixable. If it's a fixable, then go do something and change it and make it better. And if you can't change it, then just let it go and pray about it and trust God. But you have to pick one. Either change it or be okay with it. Don't just be in this like constant state of like complaining and being negative when there's something that you can do about it. Number 12, I do not care that much what people think about me. As a Christian, I realize that I'm an ambassador for Christ, and so I want to uphold a good reputation because of that, but I don't spend time over analyzing what people are thinking about me. There's a really small group of people in my life whose opinion of me completely matters, my family and my best friends, and they can say things that make me cry if they're like too harsh or like really mean, but random strangers and acquaintances and friends, like their opinion of me, it just doesn't have a huge influence on my happiness. And I guess the reason that I don't care that much is because other people, they don't know me. And even if someone watches every single one of my videos and gets a really good sense of my personality and my values and what I'm passionate about and who I am, and if they decide to hate me because of that, you're not my best friend. Like, go ahead and hate me. Like, that's okay. There's people in life who aren't gonna like you, and that's fine. Like, there's plenty of people that I don't click with and I could never be best friends with, and that's totally fine. Number 13, I know who I am. And there's this piece that comes from understanding who you are. Know thyself. So much wisdom there. And by this, I just mean that I know what I'm great at, I know what my talents are, I know what my major sin areas are that I need to work on, I know the mistakes I've made and the people I've hurt. And because I know who I am, I've chosen to accept myself. And I don't want to change except becoming more Christ-like, because I just love being Lizzie. Like, I love who I am. And understanding yourself is so important, because then you realize what you need to be healthy, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally. To be mentally healthy, I know that I need to listen to music throughout the day. To be emotionally healthy, I need to let myself cry about stuff that's messing with me, and I need to talk out loud with my friends about stuff that's hurting me, just like rant and like explain everything just like out loud. To be physically healthy, I need to sleep enough and drink tons of water and get enough iron so I'm not walking around as a dizzy vegetarian. And to stay spiritually healthy, I need to spend alone time with God in scripture and in prayer every single day. For you, it's going to be different. You might need to spend tons of alone time every day, or you might need to sing throughout the week, or go hiking a lot, or write out prayers every day. But figure all of that out, and figure out what you need, and then don't deprive yourself. I really encourage you guys to go take Myers-Briggs. It's a personality test, and I already said that I'm an ESTJ, so comment below what your Myers-Briggs is, and it's just really cool reading the profile after you take the test, because it explains to you how to better interact with other people, and it just kind of puts you at peace understanding the aspects of who you are. Understanding identity is such a crucial part of happiness because it just cuts away confusion, and especially my Christ-centered identity, it's just so much joy and happiness and peace realizing that, wow, I'm a daughter of God, and my entire purpose on this earth is shining glory back to God and loving other people extravagantly and living a pure lifestyle and staying passionate about life. So I hope this video has inspired you to change aspects of your mindsets or the things you say or the way you interact with other people, and I hope that it will make you more happy, because being happy is just the best way to live ever. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next Monday. Bye!